What is going on, everyone? Man, we are already in the month of October, man. It seems like this year has been blowing by. While I may not be dressing up in costume and venturing out into the neighborhoods for the perfect candy runs like I used to, I am playing a lot of horror games with my wife. Ones that fit the mood and are packed with the right kinds of scare. So I have 6 titles that I want to share with you that I'm excited to dive into this year. Some new, some in the backlog, but still strike the mood for some Halloween goodness nonetheless. So let's dive in. Starting with Silent Hill F. So confession time, I have never played a Silent Hill game. Yes, I know. I've always been a Resident Evil head, and my wife grew up playing both the Resident Evil and Silent Hill games, and with her sharing her experiences of the series with me, it felt like the right time to take a stab at this one. Released just recently, it's a brand new entry into the Silent Hill series set in the eerie haze of 1960s Japan. You play as a protagonist, Hinako, drawn into a rural town plagued by some level of psychological torment that blurs the lines between reality and madness. This one, however, is taking a seemingly different approach with a fresh cultural twist and some folklore-inspired monsters that crawled out of ancient myths. Also, the combat looks to be a bit more involved than your typical Silent Hill experience. I wouldn't say it looks Souls-like per se, but it does look interesting nonetheless. I'm really looking forward to diving into this one and seeing if this will be the title that brings me into the Silent Hill series. Next up is Chronos: The New Dawn. This survival horror from Bloober Team is a gritty looking time travel nightmare that has a lot of Dead Space looking themes associated with it. You step into the boots of the Traveler, a time agent scavenging the post-apocalyptic wastelands of the future to harvest essence from the dead. The game apparently has you jumping back in time to alter events and prevent an apocalypse from happening, all while battling grotesque mutants, solving puzzles that span timelines, and unraveling a conspiracy that ties your personal tragedy to humanity's doom. It's a third-person action horror where the Traveler seems to have very slow and heavy movement, mixed with overwhelming foes that force you to think strategically. I imagine ammo's gonna be scarce as normal, and the atmosphere looks pretty trippy. I was a big fan of the Dead Space games -3, and Chronos has clearly taken a lot of inspiration from it, so I'm really excited to dive into this one and see what Bloober Team has been cooking here. Speaking of Bloober Team, Silent Hill 2 Remake is up next on this list, and yeah, I know, we've already covered a Silent Hill game on here, and this title came out a year ago, but if there was a Silent Hill game to play in the month of October, it would have to be this title right here. My wife has deemed it her favorite Silent Hill game and was very excited to see it got remade recently. As James Sunderland, you receive a letter from your wife beckoning you to the fog-enshrouded town of Silent Hill, where they shared their memories. What follows is a descent into psychological hell, forcing James to confront his sins amid a mysterious town and puzzles that will twist your mind. The remake amps up the visuals with Unreal Engine 5, which look fantastic. Another reason to jump into this title is that October is the anniversary month of this release, so I can't think of a better way to enjoy the Halloween month than experiencing one of game's favorite horror titles for the first time. Shifting gears to another sequel that's still fresh of mind is Alan Wake 2, which hit shelves in October of 2023. This survival horror weaves 2 narratives, one following FBI agent Saga Anderson as she investigates a series of ritualistic murders in Bright Falls, uncovering a supernatural darkness tied to a horror novel. Alan Wake makes his appearance as a prisoner of the dark place, struggling to rewrite reality around him in order to stay sane. The first Alan Wake was very trippy, and its combat was decent at best. The sequel, however, looks to take the light-based combat up a notch against the shadowy Taken, with mind-bending puzzle solving and a story that blends folklore with psychological thriller elements. Remedy seems to have taken this game to the next level, and I'm interested in seeing what weirdness comes from this experience. Next up is Bye Sweet Carol, set to release this month. This 1900s narrative-driven horror adventure draws inspiration from classic Disney animations, but twists them into something a bit more sinister. You play as Lana Benton, who must follow the last known trail of Carol Simmons to find her best friend and uncover the dark truth behind the Bunny Hall orphanage. Along the way, you navigate a hand-drawn world that shifts between the human realm and a bizarre, corrupted kingdom, filled with anthropomorphic animals turned monstrous, solving puzzles and evading threats in a style reminiscent of old-school point-and-clicks with platforming elements. It's got that fairy tale gone wrong aesthetic. Having grown up watching Disney as a kid, my wife was ecstatic to want to try this out, and when she told me about this and showed me gameplay footage, we had to add it to the list. And finally, to round out my 6-pack of scares, Ghostwire Tokyo, a supernatural action-adventure that originally dropped back in 2022. In a fog-enshrouded Tokyo where nearly the entire population has mysteriously vanished in a cataclysmic event, you play as Akito, a young man possessed by the spirit of a veteran ghost hunter named KK. Together you wield ethereal weaving powers, drawing from Japanese folklore to fire spectral arrows, summon barriers, and purge corrupted spirits known as visitors that roam the neon-lit streets. The game seems to rely heavily on its atmosphere to navigate you through the experience, blending urban exploration with supernatural combat and side quests steeped in Shinto mythology. Yet another title in the fog that I'm excited to dive into. And there you have it. These are the 6 games I'm excited to tackle this Halloween month. Let me know what games you plan to tackle for the spooky season. Are some of these games on your list? Do you have some I haven't even mentioned? Let me know in the comments what you're playing. If you found some value out of this video, I'd very much appreciate a like and subscribe for me to share this with others. If you have any questions or thoughts on anything around horror titles, please leave a comment below. Follow me on X where I share my thoughts on all things games, and I will see you in the next video.